All right, so I'm at a different angle here. I wanted to try and get a little bit more, I guess, action shots of the actual bleach bottle foot sweeps, something that was suggested to me through some constructive criticism. But that's what I've been asking for. I appreciate everything you guys have been doing and trying to keep going throughout this whole process. One of the other things I needed to make sure I mentioned is that I was also told that we should try and do a little bit more detail and less just throwing material at you. 2 times a week, 15-minute videos each time. I might do the 15-minute videos, but I might only add another like 3 or 5 minutes on the next video if we do a video later in the week. But I want to make sure that these video lessons that I'm giving you are actually getting done, instead of just giving you a video and having you watch 10 seconds of it and being like, oh, okay, that's cool, and then moving on. I want you to actually go through this, and I want you to find the drills that are in here, because these drills that I'm picking, that I'm doing for you, that I'm doing myself, they're good drills. You're getting a lot of repetition throughout these drills if you do them. So I'm going to continue to put out videos. I'm going to continue to give you content, but I was encouraged to try and give you content less often in order to actually encourage you to train. So we'll see how that goes. If you like it, great. If you don't like it, let me know. As within class, first one that speaks up usually gets a good opportunity at the floor. But then also majority does have a say. So just let me know what you think. Now, where we left off with our bleach bad guys here would be either in their left lead, like so, or their right lead, like so. Okay? So however you choose to do it, doesn't matter to me. I'm going to start with this guy here on the left, on his right lead, and I'll be in the right lead as well. And the way we had messed with this last time was you pull that inside foot sweep and you add the yatuk, or the stomp. That's the inside walis, or inside sapu, to a stomp. And we also had the bezet, which would be also known as a silhig, which is a back sweep. And then we added the stomp to their plant leg again. So those were 2 of the main ones we did. Then the other ones that we started to cover would be the combinations of the 2. So if I add the sapu to this leg here like so, but they step out, so this slips, right? So if I'm moving this bleach guy here and all of a sudden my foot slips like so, now I need to spin right into our bezet. And if I step here like this, here's my sapu, I missed, so now I spin and there's my bezet. I can also do the same if I do my bezet here. Now I have this outside sapu, or outside walis, for that shot there. So again, I'm going to turn my back to you, and this guy's in right lead. However we see fit, we'll go into our bezet. We'll take this leg straight back like so, step in. They should be dumped over this side here like this. This is their plant foot. Pull that plant foot out from under them. Should dump them. Okay, so that's where we left off. Now, what I want to do here is I want to show you 2 more options. But they're all sort of strung together again. So we're going to string these together, and I'm going to show you both options before I show you follow-ups to either option. Now, the follow-ups can completely change based on the situation, based on how they move, how you find yourself, what your balance is, what the situation dictates. So don't get hung up on the follow-ups. The follow-ups are fun. They're a great way of practicing certain techniques and certain conditioning aspects. But don't get hung up on it, because it's always going to be different. So, first thing what we're going to do is we're going to do the sapu to the bezet to another sapu. So, if I enter in here and I sweep this on the inside, before I just jump right into that, I should mention I'm visualizing a jab, I'm doing a double parry, or I'm doing an outside vertical. Okay? This shot here, I step in and then pull, but I should just be kicking this shot. I'm trying to move their leg out violently, okay? So I get to this point here, and all of a sudden, they plant their foot here. I miss my foot sweep, whatever the case is. So I switch, and I swing into that bezet, just like we covered last time. Now, from there, we're just going to add that other outside sapu to it. So I have attacked their left leg twice, and then their right leg once. Or I've attacked their right leg twice, and their left leg once. But the idea of this is to completely off balance someone. So I'll do this a couple more times on the left. I'll face away from the camera and do it again, and we'll see if that helps. And then I'll again try and act it out. So whatever the case might be, I double parry here. I shoot this shot in, and I try and take the inside sapu, but I miss it. So I swing back through here like this, and I pull that leg straight back for a bezet. Now, they're going to be off balance. I just take this shot in here like so, and I scoop this leg out from under them, and it should be dumped over there. So I'm going to set this up for a left lead, and I will face away from the camera. So, in or in, I take my inside sapu. I slip out of it, or they step over it, whatever the case is. When this slips or steps, I step out and I pivot. I now swing this foot back. I'm now taking this leg back and getting them bent forward, off balance. Then once they're bent forward, all their weight should be on this leg. I step in, I bump with my hip, and then I pop that leg out from under them, ideally toppling them down right there. So, I'll act it out again. The idea of me throwing this shot here, that loads my weight onto this lead leg. So if I have the proper timing, then that leg is now pulled out, okay? If they're able to step out of it, or you didn't get it pulled far enough, you are going to step through and you're going to bezet this leg, which is going to slide me back this way. Now, if you did the bezet properly, where you had your weight going forward, you had my arm controlled going forward, all my weight should be here, not back here. If it's back here, you have to change up the game again. But if I'm back here like so, you've got my arm, you just did a bezet with this foot here, now you step in onto this leg, and you kick that foot this way, which is going to drop me down in here like so. Okay? So, again, I throw this shot, my leg gets swept. I step back, or I get my leg pulled back. Okay? Now this foot goes out, and I drop down. We'll do it from this side. I throw this jab, this gets swept out. This gets pulled back with a bezet. This leg now gets swept across, and I drop down. So, that would be our inside sapu to a bezet dalam, or in front, and then a outside sapu, or a sapu luar. So it's a string of 3 leg sweeps. You're not going to sit here and start off saying, oh, I'm going to do the sapu, bezet, sapu technique on it. That doesn't work. If you try the sapu and it doesn't work, okay, try the bezet. If that doesn't work, try the sapu. If that doesn't work, you can still try something else, right? I really like what Guru Rick likes to say when he says, when all of your cool stuff doesn't work, just go back to your basics of hitting. Soften them up a little bit more. Another phrase that was told to me back when I was growing up in the arts was tenderize them. So if it doesn't work, tenderize them and then try it again. So that is our first one, which is sapu, bezet, sapu. Now, I've got this guy here, and we're going to do bezet to sapu to bezet, okay? So if we're here like this, I might catch this jab, I might try and blast through it just like we did in our waltz. This leg, I'm trying to sweep that bezet, okay? I get their body weight going forward, I step across and I attempt the sapu here like this. But as that sapu, they might plant here, or they might step back out and I slide off of this guy like before. So then I step in front of this leg and I bezet that guy again. So I'm going to shoot in, I'm going to try and hit my bezet. I get my bezet back. I step in for the sapu and I miss it. They catch themselves, one of the two. So I step back in, and now I'm going for a bezet dalam on the far side. And this is a really nasty throw if you can catch it on somebody. It's a really hard throw on their back. They land hard. It's a fun throw if you're not the one who's taking the fall. So I shoot in for my bezet. I step in for my sapu, and I miss it, or they step out. So I step forward, still maintaining control of their arm however I can, and I kick this leg back as I dump their arm going forward. Now we'll do it again, facing this other side. So from here, I step in and I get my bezet. Okay? So I shoot for the bezet, I step through, and I try and pull this, but they step out or I miss. As that happens, I step up, I keep pressure against their limb, against their shoulder joint ideally, and then I beset that leg back. As I do, I rip this direction here. So we'll do this again. Bleach bottle martial arts. Bring this up, kick that leg back for a beset. Kick this leg over for a sapu, I missed it, kick it back for another beset. So, if I'm going to be the actor again, I throw this shot here, and I get my arm wrenched, and they kick this leg back on me. This leg goes here, and I don't just dump straight onto the ground. I either catch myself at the side of my foot, or as I feel this go here, I might step out. They still have control here. My weight is forward. They step in front of me here like this, and they kick my leg back. So when they kick my leg back, I end up falling forward. So that's gonna go here. And that's gonna be more of the fall that I take. And I'm not gonna sit here and keep trying ninja rolls like this because for one, it doesn't look exactly realistic. But two, it's one of those throws that you're binding up their knee more than you are hip tossing them. So it's effective, but it's hard to act. So this one goes here like this. I get bezetted, I get sapu'd, but I catch myself on this side here, and now they're gonna put their foot right here, and they're gonna kick this back, and that's more the fall I'm taking there. So with all of that being said, I hope that you take these patterns and you work them and you work them and you work them. But I've got to give you a couple follow-ups. Now, I'm going to do the follow-ups without the bleach bottles. Okay, I want to make sure that you understand how to move something, so it's not a bad idea to practice. But we're going to take our sapu to beset to sapu technique. So I enter in here and I go for my sapu. I take my sapu here like so. I step up, I hit my beset. I step in, I hit this other sapu. From this sapu, ideally what happens is they fall and I have their leg draped across my foot, okay? It's gonna be for a split second, but for that split second, I have their leg draped across my foot. I'm going to take one stomp at the ankle, one stomp at the knee, and then I'm going to go ahead and I'm gonna lift this up, and I'm gonna hit here as I continue to move forward. I'm gonna do it from this angle here. So I step in, I hit my sapu. Switch gears, try the beset, step here, hit the sapu. This foot, or this leg, should be laying across my ankle area, right across the top of my foot. I hit the first stomp. I hit the second stomp, I lift and hit the third stomp. Okay? So, that is the first option that I'd like you to do. Step in, pull, back pull, step across, and pull, stomp, stomp, stomp. Okay? Now, you don't have to just do all the stomps. It's just an easy way of finishing, I guess, if you want to call it a finisher. But it's an easy follow-up to add. You can add a lot harder techniques to this, and we'll try that one now. So we go here, I pull this guy, I pull this guy, I take this foot, I step, and I pull here. Now, right from here, again, their leg should be across mine. So I'm still going to take this stomp, but I'm going to go ahead and I want to play a little bit more ground game with these guys. I'm going to go ahead and turn for you, okay? So their leg is across here. I take this stomp here and I just roll this shot in here. And all I did was I tried to take my shin to my toe, and I tried to just set it down like so. Now, hopefully I've got their leg here, and I can lock it in with this leg here. My hand, my left hand, should be grabbing their foot, and I can wrench that up, okay? I'm pulling up against my shin bone on their ankle, right here, okay? With this position here, I can also take this and from here, I just want to go ahead and I just want to hit this rake, you know, obviously hitting the groin, whatever the case is, but most likely that leg is going to be coming at me. They're going to be trying to flop over, they're going to be trying to push, whatever it is. We're going to go ahead and just pass this over, if it's that leg that's coming in, it's sort of a round kick, and we're going to stop that down here like this. Then we're going to go ahead and get up, stomping along the way. So, again, and we'll do it this way. So, I step in, I sapu, I beset, I sapu, I stomp, and I lock that in, ideally one motion. This should wrench against your own shin, okay? Go ahead and pass that kick over your back, lock that one in here like this, stomp that on your way up, and start working your way back to your feet. Now for the other option, if I start with the bezet, and I hit my sapu, and then I go for the bezet again, that's going to be a much harder throw on them. You're going to most likely end up with their arm, or their arm's going to flop out. So the first option is if I end up with their arm. This is one of my favorites, and we just call it the chicken kick. Guru Rick likes to refer to it as, wide right field goal kick from the Minnesota Vikings. But their arm is here. Their head is, I'll put the bleach bottle as the head. So this is their head, this is their arm. I have this shot here, and I just kick that right through. I'm attempting to hit right above the tricep and pop that elbow joint. So we'll go bezet, sapu, and bezet. Here like so. I now have an arm. Take that field goal kick. Okay? There's other fancier things you can do where you actually would lock this and lock this in here and take all this motions. We're going to just skip all that because it's really hard to illustrate without a body. But I just want to illustrate with the field goal kick. Now, the other option that'll happen is this throw being the sort of violent throw it is, you'll lose their arm. So if you lose their arm, they have now just landed like so, right? You've lost everything. But what I want you to do from that position here is I want you to go ahead and take this knee, because most likely they're not going to be turning towards you. If they're turning towards you, they're trying to take your legs, whatever it is. We have options for that. But most likely they're going to be trying to get away, right? So as they get away, I want you to drop this knee in, right? So just rotate this in and start shooting in. Ideally, you'll find yourself in, I've heard it called S-mount in jiu-jitsu, but essentially they're laying perpendicular to my body, and I happen to have a brace up keeping them from rolling into me, and I have a brace up over them keeping them from rolling away, right? And then that'll lend itself into mounting shots and all that other fun stuff. So if this last bezet hits, drop this shot in here, and then hook this guy, wrench that arm if you can re-grab that arm. So again, my favorite would be the old chicken kick or the field goal kick, but you can't always maintain control. There are plenty of other shots out there. If you want to play with this and let me know what you find, I'd be happy to hear them, be happy to bounce ideas off of you, that kind of stuff. So have fun playing with this and keep training.